All right, racists, let's have a chit-chat. Why are racist Americans so obsessed with indigenous black intelligence? Real indigenous black people weren't uneducated. They just weren't colonized. However, the true indigenous people have always been the most intelligent on this planet, and that's still the case today. Colonizers invented the IQ test to measure intellect when they have none. Statistically, y'all flopped on your own test. And we all know the IQ test was just the SAT for the plantation. Its job? To measure how well you do at mimicking whiteness. You can't enslave the mind and act surprised when it outgrows you. Why are racist Americans so obsessed with indigenous black intelligence? No, really. They treat black intellect like it's a mystery creature. Something to be caught, tested, and explained, but never respected. Meanwhile, these are the same people who couldn't even figure out hygiene without creating every terminal disease that is harmful to humans. True parasitic nature. Let's be honest. IQ tests were never neutral. They were created by white supremacists as kind of like a mental border patrol. They weren't afraid that the indigenous black people would fall. They were afraid that they would pass and surpass white mediocrity, which they did time and time over and over and over again. Which is why the metrics were tweaked every few decades. Even renamed and rebranded the IQ test as the G factor or the cognitive aptitude test. Another goalpost move by a group of people who still struggle with following a recipe. To be expected, as it's the usual behavior of these envious, hateful reptiles who wish they had the essence of creation. When white delusionalists lose, they create another scam to manufacture superiority. Why are racist Americans obsessed with black indigenous intelligence? Because they don't understand it and they can't stop needing it. Remember, they invented IQ tests to gatekeep intellect, not to measure it. First tested on immigrants, then weaponized against black children. Every change in standard creation was always meant to exclude. IQ testing is not about intellect. It's about control. Black people are remembering who built the pyramids, which we know Europeans and their cave-dwelling ancestors are still unable to build basic infrastructure. Yet their low IQ makes them champion some type of Disney belief that they had something to do with the sophistication of the pyramids when they are the stars of the TV shows Hoarders and Intervention. Like, let's be serious with ourselves. The greatest home built by the only white builders, the Amish, it's a square cabin. The literal poster child for limitation. Whiteness is not a benchmark. It's a malfunction.